welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Lydia Isaac. Hope you're all doing great. So guys, today with a smile on my face, you will know that I'm bringing you one nice delicacy, because if you know me, you know I'm a foodie. So when it comes to food, you will see that glow, that smile on my face. Okay, so guys, without wasting much of your time, today I'm going to show you how I made my delicious goat meat jollof rice. Goat meat, guys, if you know why I'm screaming goat meat, you know that here in the UK you can't get a goat meat with the skin on it. You can't get it here in UK. The only goat meat you can get is the one that they've already taken off the skin, of which the skin is the most interesting part of goat meat, guys. So guys, today I'm going to be making this delicious goat meat jollof rice that a friend gifted me from Austria. She came from Austria. She gave me some nice goat meat. So I said, what am I going to be doing with this goat meat except making a nice jollof rice with it for you guys? Okay, so follow me as I show you how to enjoy the best jollof rice. Okay, when I mean the best jollof rice, you know that goat meat is if you've not tasted goat meat jollof rice, I bet you need to go and look for goat meat today. Go to your kitchen and follow this recipe. Okay, thank you very much, guys. And if it's your first time here, you're welcome. Please, if you love this recipe, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and click on that bell icon so you will be notified anytime I post a nice recipe. Okay, so guys, let's jump into this recipe and enjoy our yummy goat meat jollof rice. So guys, I'm just going to quickly show you some of the ingredients that I'm going to be using for this recipe, and I'm going to make sure I drop all the list of the ingredients that I use on the description box. Okay, so at this moment I have my goat meat already washed, properly clean. So I'm just going to blend my onion, garlic, ginger, and pour it inside my washed goat meat. And I'm just going to add some seasoning. So I'm adding a tablespoon of curry powder. I'm using beef stock, so I'm going to add 1 spoon of beef stock powder. So I'm adding some little salt. I'm going to add my dried thyme, and I'm just going to stir it up together, and I'm going to put it in my fire and let it cook till it's properly done. Okay, so I'm done with my meat now, and I'm just going to blend my tomato, onion, Scotch bonnet pepper, red bell pepper, and I'm going to put it in a pot and let it boil until it's properly dried up. You can see my tomato is very dry, so the reason why I parboiled my tomato to make it dry is to make the frying process of the tomato paste easy for me. So your jollof rice will always taste better if you boil your tomatoes. It's more easy and it's more better when you boil your tomatoes to fasten up the process and to make your jollof rice come out very tasty. Okay, so at this moment I'm just using my vegetable oil to fry my goat meat. So I'm just going to fry the goat meat until it's well dried and golden brown, but I'm not going to allow it to be very dry, as I want it to be very juicy and yummy. So I'm just going to fry it till it's golden brown and not very dried. So at this moment, I'm just going to take off the goat meat from the hot oil, and I'm going to get another pot and use part of the vegetable oil that I used in frying the goat meat. I'm going to use it to fry my tomato paste that I'm going to be using to make my jollof rice. So in here, as you can see, I just add in my chopped onion, black and white onion, and I'm using 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, concentrated tomato paste, which was the tin tomato, the Gino tin tomato that I showed you earlier. So I'm using 3 tablespoons of that. I'm just going to fry it for about 5 minutes until it's properly dry. The reason why you need it to be very dry is to avoid your jollof rice to have that sour taste. So I'm just going to make sure I always give it a stir every seconds so it won't get burnt. Okay, at this moment it is well dried, so I'm just putting in my already parboiled tomato, the one that I already cooked before. So I'm just going to add it to my tin tomato and I'm going to allow it to cook. At this moment, I'm just adding in 3 bay leaves, some curry powder. I'm adding in some beef stock powder. I'm using beef stock powder for this jollof rice. And I'm going to allow it to cook until it's well cooked. You can see it is very well cooked. You can see the oil on top. That shows that your tomato paste is properly cooked. Okay, I'm going to leave it to dry more. I want it to be very dry. I don't want my jollof rice to have that sour taste on it. So at this moment, you can see how it looks like. So I'm adding in my basmati rice. I already washed my basmati rice in hot water. I wash it in running hot water. So I'm just going to add some batch of the rice. I'm not going to put all of them, as I don't want my rice to be more than my tomato sauce. So when I found out that my sauce was enough, so I added the other part of the rice, and I'm just going to give it a nice stir so the rice will absorb all the very delicious tomato sauce that I already stewed. So I'm not going to cover it at this moment. I'm just going to leave it for about 3 to 4 minutes, and I will make sure I keep on giving it a stir every 1 minute. I'm going to leave it to cook. I'm not adding water at this moment. I just want the rice to absorb all the flavor from the tomato. So I want it to get all the flavor from the sauce. I'm just going to keep on stirring it like every minute or 2, and I'm going to do that for about 5 minutes. At this moment, you have to make sure that your fire is on a very low heat. If not, your pot is going to get burnt while your food is still uncooked. So my fire was at the lowest point. Okay, so I'm just going to keep on stirring it till I'm okay with how the rice have absorbed the tomato sauce. You can see my pot was not burnt. Reason why was that my fire was on a very low heat, as I said earlier. So at this point, I'm okay with it. I'm just going to add in my goat meat stock water, and I'm going to stir it properly, and I will add a very little water to it to cook. So I'm just adding in a very little water. Like a cup of water is enough for you to make your jollof rice, because you don't actually need the water to cook it. All you need is the steam. But at the beginning, you do need some little water. Like a cup of water is good for you to go. So at this point you can see the amount of water I have in my rice. So I'm just going to cover it. At this moment it is getting cooked a little bit. It is just starting like to get cooked. I'm just going to use my aluminium foil paper to cover it up to make it absorb all the steam that is coming out from the rice. With the steam, the rice is going to get cooked and you're going to get the real flavor from your jollof rice when you cook it with the steam. Okay, so at this moment I just add my goat meat that I already fried to the jollof rice. If you want, you can keep adding it to the jollof rice, but I prefer adding my fried goat meat to the jollof rice so that the goat meat will also absorb the tomato paste that I use in cooking it, and it will also give the rice that nice flavor. So in here I'm just adding in some sliced tomato and fresh onion. This is optional, but I love garnishing my jollof rice, either vegetables, tomato, anyone, but I love garnishing it with something. Okay, so I'm just going to stir it together and cover it and allow the steam to cook the jollof rice, and I'll make sure I come back like every 3 to 4 minutes to give it a stir, so the bottom that is getting more cooked will come up and the top that is not that cooked will go down to the bottom, and everything will be very okay and come out deliciously yummy. Okay, yeah guys, thank you very much for watching this video to this extent, and if you've watched this video up to this place, thank you very much. I love you. Hope to see you again in my next recipe, and if you've not subscribed to my channel, please don't forget to smash that red button, subscribe, click on the bell icon that goes with it, give this video a big like, drop a comment for me if you want me to make any recipe for you. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'm grateful, I'm honored to have you. Till I see you on my next video, bye.